Thank you, Rabbi. Good morning. Boker Tov, Bruchim Abayim. Welcome and blessings to everyone here. The Human Rights Commission in Congress is named after a man named Tom Lantos, who was a former congressman and who was a Holocaust survivor. And there was a quote of his that I always remember. It guides me in a lot of things that I think about. He said, "The veneer of civilization is paper thin. We are its guardians, and we cannot rest." We can't just accept the fact that bad things happened during the Holocaust, and boy, what a great job we did winning World War II. This is a constant battle that we have because the veneer of civilization is paper thin, and we are its guardians, and we cannot rest. I have so many things I want to say this morning, but I'm going to be very, very brief, Alan. First, I think about Omer Nutra all the time. Omer is a constituent of mine, a neighbor of yours who lives in Plainview, who went to the Solomon Schechter School. His parents actually gave me a picture of when I met him in the Solomon Schechter School when he was in high school. Who, after high school, went to Israel and joined the IDF. And his parents talked about how he's like an outgoing, goofy kid. Went on to become a tank commander. And he was taken hostage on October 7th, and his parents still don't know what's happening with him. Think about him all the time. It's just one example of the suffering that people are going through. I want to be clear that I'll always be 100% with Israel, unequivocally. But we need to recognize the world has changed dramatically over the past few weeks. And we really need to recognize that this is a unique time in history when we look at Iran that is funding Hamas, is funding Hezbollah, is funding the Houthis, and is funding so much more throughout the region and the world. And this is the time that they must be degraded. Now is the time to stop them. This is the moment in history. And our only democracy and only really true friend in the region, Israel, is fighting the fight on our behalf. Because when they say death to the Jews or death to Israel, they also say death to America. Yeah. And they're fighting our fight on our behalf. So we need to support them, Israel, in every way that we can going forward. Last thing I'll say is that a big part of what guides me in my life right now is the story of Joseph. And in our Bible, it's Genesis 50:20. I don't know what you would call it, but Genesis 50:20? So Joseph is the youngest brother. He's the favorite. A lot of reasons for that, but his brothers are very jealous. They throw him in the well. They're going to kill him. They decide they're not going to kill him. They're going to sell him off to slavery into Egypt. He goes into Egypt. He's in prison. He gets a reputation for interpreting dreams. And the Pharaoh hears about it. He has dreams he wants interpreted. He comes, interprets the Pharaoh's dreams. 7 years of feast, 7 years of famine. He makes him the number 2 guy in all of Israel to oversee the 7 years of feast and the 7 years of famine. He gathers the grain for 7 years, and the famine comes. And his brothers go into Egypt to try and get some grain. And he recognizes his brothers, but his brothers don't recognize him. And there's a lot of back and forth about bringing their father back. But they come back with their father, and they realize who Joseph is, their brother, that they were going to kill and that they sold off into prison. And he forgives them. And the brothers say, "How could you forgive us after what we did?" And this is the line that means so much to me. What you intended for evil, God intended for good. We are suffering. We are going through an awful, awful period. We have seen evil visited upon us. We need to stay strong, stay united, as a group, stick to our values, don't give up, and in the end, things will work out. But we can never forget, and we can never give up. Thank you.